Robbie's hero tried to sell us out?
I'm kinda busy right now.
Cleaning your car?
It's gotta be done. If I don't, no one else will.
I am sorry you are stuck with the burden of the parchment, Robbie.
Don't be. It's fine.
If you need help,
I said it's fine.
if there is something you need to get off your chest...
You mean like the parchment? No, it's in there pretty snug. I'm doing great otherwise. It's not like any major life role models attempted to sell us out to Mephisto recently.
Robbie,
Thanks for checking on me, Hunter. Later. I just want to be alone right now. Thanks.
I see things are going well for you too. One time, I ate an entire Super Grande burrito in one sitting. Sour cream, guac, black beans. The whole thing sat right at the top of my gut for a day and a half.
Stop being so defensive and listen to us, Robbie.
We're just worried about you, that's all.
No need to be worried. I got this.
I don't think you fully understand what you're carrying. The parchment packs a lot of evil.
And what? You don't think I can handle it? I'll have you know that you aren't the only one who has a corner on controlling darkness. Just ask Sparky.
We're just concerned.
Concerned? You're starting to sound an awful lot like Caretaker, Nico.
Since when did you become such a jerk?
Since he started carrying that damn page, that's
Why
when...
don't you worry about yourself, Blade?
Whatever you say, Robbie. Why don't you go find Peter?
Well, maybe I will. I'm out.
Well, we tried.
The parchment of power is no joke. Then again, neither is Robbie. Let's just hope he's right and he can handle it.
Yeah, let's hope.
Have time to talk, Hunter? I saw you witnessed our disagreement in the hallway earlier.
I did.
Yet you didn't say anything.
I did not.
The parchment contained some of the darkest, most twisted magic that's ever existed. Robbie's my friend, but I don't think he's strong enough to withstand those forces. If he doesn't pass that page off to someone else, it's going to consume him.
You may have your doubts, but Robbie is tough. Tougher than you realize.
I wish I could share your optimism, Hunter. Everything related to the dark hole turns my stomach.
Maybe so, but I have complete faith that Robbie is strong enough to carry the parchment for as long as we need him to.
How much longer is he expected to hold the page?
We are all waiting on Stark. Until he can finalize his plan to destroy it, we wait.
All I can say is Stark had better hurry.
Good to see Wanda back with her team.
I'm actually agreeing.
Wait, you're what?
We are asking a lot from Robbie. Maybe too much.
I'm so glad you see it too. It seems to me that he's risking himself all for destroying the parchment.
Point taken. We will have to keep an eye on it.
After all that's happened, I find myself most upset about what I left behind in the Sanctum Sanctorum.
And what was that?
A collection of DVDs. I know it's irrational to want them back, but I can't stop thinking of them.
Everything felt surreal after my resurrection. It was not until I saw some familiar items in my room that I gained my footing.
That's exactly what I mean. They're all I carried with me from my childhood.
What was on your DVD collection?
Old musicals. They brought me comfort during the difficult times in my childhood.
What were they about?
Simple times in a simpler world. I know it wasn't like that, not really. But I always wondered if it could be. One of my favorite activities.
Wanna go again? I can always go again.
Something about Jeremiah Kane's statue drew me. Guess it's that old spirit of vengeance connection, huh?
Like you, Kane carried more burdens than any one man should.
Yeah, so he knew how the big honor could also become a curse.
Do you feel you have been cursed?
Absolutely. I mean, it's awesome to be one of the Midnight Suns and have the incredible responsibility of carrying the parchment of power. But it also really sucks.
As long as you carry the parchment with you, you are the most powerful member of the Midnight Suns. I hope you realize that.
Never thought of it that way.
It is an awesome responsibility.
Yeah, but of course, power doesn't do me much good unless I use it. And I doubt that's ever gonna happen.
Blaze's betrayal probably soured your outlook.
About that. I keep thinking about what happened back in Limbo. Right before all the fighting broke out, when Blaze told me you were the key to the parchment, the prophecy, all of it. And that if we took you out, the world might survive.
Robbie...
I know what you're gonna say. Don't trust Blaze. I get it. Which is why I'm thinking I should read this parchment for myself and find out exactly what caused him to get so worked up about you.
I do not know what Blaze read. I am not a mind reader, nor are you, which is why I am asking you to trust me. Forget what Blaze said. Forget about what could be on that parchment.
I can't just forget it, Hunter. What am I supposed to do? Bake a loaf of sourdough and try not to think about having the directions for the end of the world riding around in me?
Oh, do you bake?
Nothing more complicated than instant brownies.
Oh, that is too bad. I would love a warm loaf of bread right now. To break bread together would be more meaningful than the words of 100 parchments.
Fine, forget it. I'm not gonna read the page. Happy now?
I am relieved, yes. But what are you going to do instead?
I'm gonna do what I normally do. Sit and worry. And hope Stark hurries up with whatever he's building in the forge.
That may take a while.
I'm just gonna pretend I didn't hear you say that. After all this, I better get a statue of my own around here.
Just tell me.
I already told you.
That was just a bunch of hocus-pocus mumbo-jumbo. Authored by the hand of a corrupted elder god, vile, unspeakable evil power contained within its pages. I get it. The Darkhold is bad. But I'm a scientist. I need facts, examples, highlights, lowlights.
Are you really asking me for a book report on the Darkhold?
I mean, I could just blast the page to smithereens without knowing the context, but understanding it is so much more interesting.
Context or no context, I'm still skeptical that your plan will actually work.
Well, okay, then share your deep insights with me, Dr. Spooky. Come on, spill the beans.
I have no beans to spill, Tony. I think I need some fresh air.
Oh, hey. Didn't see you there, Hunter. I guess you're wondering why Strange and I were getting into it.
I saw enough.
He gets so huffy and precious when it comes to his magic stuff. Everything has to be shrouded in mystery, like he's on stage in Vegas or something. I think he's afraid I'm going to turn around and become an even greater sorcerer than he is.
Tony, you are a bit competitive. I would not blame him for becoming a bit territorial as a result.
Aw, there's nothing wrong with a little friendly competition, is there?
I do not think Strange sees it as friendly.
Well, when he comes back, I'll try to smile bigger. Maybe that'll give him a hint.
Surely there is a way for you both to work together in harmony.
Oh, you'll never catch us in the same barbershop quartet. But, given enough time, I'm sure I can reverse engineer an Elder God's programming language. Sure, you may not be able to understand what I'm saying, but that's not my problem.
So you think the Darkhold is no different from some fabulous bit of technology?
Oh, absolutely. And like any other fabulous bit of technology, it's only a matter of time before I figure out how to do what I want to do with it. Every problem has a solution, my resurrected friend. And I'm going to find it.
It will be a challenge, but I know you can handle it.
Well, you don't have to tell me twice. Actually, you can tell me several times. I'm such a shameless sucker for praise.
And what about Strange? Are you going to let him sulk?
Oh, I'll find Dr. Spooky later, and explain my position clearly. Make sure he understands.
It might help if you stop calling him Dr. Spooky.
Yeah, you're right. I should use his name. Stephen Spooky.
I give up.
Well, don't give up yet. You need to get the research going on the Gamma Accelerator. I've got the pieces and Dad's research, and I'm ready to go. I'm serious about getting the research started. Parchment isn't going to blow itself up.
You want the magic highlights, Tony? Here's your highlight.
All right, let's get started, Dr. Spooky.
Hydra forces in this area are causing trouble. Let's take them down.
That's what we're after? I'm not going anywhere.
The more the merrier.
Fair enough. That wasn't your signature move.
Your time has come. Weak, even for Hydra.
There's more of them on the way.
What are you waiting for?
Time is almost up. Do as much as you can.
A helping hand. Just what I needed.
You're saving this for a special occasion.
Maybe someday your technology will catch up to our magic.
Getting it done any way you know how. thing is pretty stale. Got any new material?
That could have been so much worse. I'd consider another profession if I were you.
Some for the rest.
We've done it. Excellent work.
The Hell Ride is ready and waiting.
Tension's so thick I could claw it to shreds. Something, or someone, is going to snap. Do you hear Tony and Strange arguing? Who's next? Arthur and Nico? Seen good troops lose their minds not knowing if a tank was going to mortar their bunkers, but seeing seasoned, enhanced heroes walking on eggshells is a new kind of unsettling.
What, no stars and stripes hoorah pep talk from Captain America? It must be bad.
We'd lived with the dread, channeled the tension. This feels different.
You need to go easier on Sarah, kid.
What brought that up?
I've seen how you are together. You're always circling each other, waiting for the other one to pounce.
She started it. She can choose to end it.
It's good that you don't back down, most of the time. But you're too busy fighting to see what it's doing to her. I don't think you understand how much your death affected her, and neither of you get how much your resurrection brought it all back. When you run into someone you thought was gone for years, learning otherwise can produce some intense feelings.
Where is this coming from, Logan? This is not entirely about Sarah.
I've lived way too long. For nearly a century, Victor Creed, Sabretooth, has been a bitter enemy. But I've lost count of the times we've fought side by side. I'm not asking you to forget your history, but it doesn't always need to be a fight to the death. Now, isn't that something special? Thanks, kid.
Hi, kiddo.
Acunis ad sepulchrum, nam hac in hora, tutela contra inferna vocat, paper potestatum, aufrerte molem omni noxa, iram et tristis.
Agatha, what are you doing?
Casting a protection spell over the Abbey. Now that we are in possession of the Parchment of Power, we must be vigilant in guarding against its influences.
What can I do to help?
You can't. This is a very rare form of sorcery, practiced only by those who have passed from this realm. But you can watch over the others. This spell will only prevent the worst type of harm the parchment can inflict, but can't stop it from making mischief completely.
Mischief? What sort of mischief?
There's no way of knowing for sure. But if there's one thing I am sure of, it's this. The words etched onto the page were written by Chthon himself. Not even my magic can silence them. They will affect us, if only in whispers. I mean, they're probably affecting us right here, right now, and won't stop. Not until Stark finally manages to nuke it from space.
Then there is hope.
There sure is. But until that happens, we need to protect ourselves. Speaking of, I should really finish this incantation. The spell cannot be completed without it.
I will leave you to it then.
Sleep well, Hunter. If you can.
Are you finally beginning to understand now? Family protects one another. Family loves one another. Family would do anything to save one another. Is that not what these heroes of yours preach? Then why abandon you at the doorstep of that wretched pretender Mephisto, my precious child?
My family saved me. It was the coward Blaze that sold me out.
Perhaps. Still, Blaze is no coward. And he is most certainly not a friend to Mephisto. For him to have made such a deal, all the more reason I must have the page.
I knew you were going to go there.
Hear me, child. Say what you will about Johnny Blaze, but his soul is one of the strongest I have ever encountered. He has carried the parchment for decades without succumbing to its call, battled angels and demons alike, and rattled the thrones of far too many gods.
It almost seems like you admire him.
I simply state the facts. Now he is free of the page, and another takes on the mantle of its guardian.
Robbie.
Do you really think he will prevail over the parchment of power?
You are right, Mother.
I am?
Robbie will never be Johnny Blaze. He will become something far greater. I gladly place my fate and that of the world in his hands.
My original offer still stands. If you truly value your friend, relieve him of his burden and surrender the parchment to me. Ignore my warning, and Blaze's betrayal will be a fond memory compared to what is coming next.
I hope the others slept better than I did. Who's a good girl? It is my Charlie girl. Quite a view out here, Logan.
You know, I didn't always go by Logan. Or Wolverine, for that matter. Once upon a time, they used to call me Weapon X. Not exactly warm and cuddly, eh?
Tough. Deadly. It suits you.
Maybe so. But sometimes, I wonder how things would have turned out for me if I had been given a different name. You know, something softer like Bob or Moonchild. You ever think how your whole destiny got laid out the minute they named you Hunter?
Hunter is what they call me, and that is what I am proud to be.
Good on you, then. You're sure doing a lot of hunting these days. I think you got lucky with somebody like Caretaker watching out for you.
I suppose her name is fitting, then.
I'd have killed to have someone like Caretaker in my life. One way or another, I've lost everybody I ever cared about.
That must have been hard on you.
For a while, yeah. But lately, I've been feeling like I'm getting my edge back. Like when I was younger.
Oh? What changed?
Could be a lot of things. Maybe I've been eating better. Maybe it's some kind of weirdo Abbey magic at work. Or maybe it's the fact that I somehow managed to make a new friend.
If my presence is causing you to reclaim your edge, then I am honored. It is not what I intended, but it is a welcome side effect.
Hopefully it's the only side effect. Otherwise, I gotta contact my doctor. I ain't had a real teammate I could count on since I took a break from the X-Men.
How is it?
It's kinda nice.
Is this another movie night? And if so, where's Nico?
It's not an official movie night. It's more of my way of saying thank you for being a friend. I didn't have many growing up. Wasn't exactly the popular kid, if you know what I mean.
Well, if it matters to you, you are popular with me.
It does matter to me. I know what it's like to be hated, so I'm especially appreciative of the ones who don't. In Transia, it was just me and my brother Pietro for a long while. We wandered from village to village, begging, doing odd jobs, scrounging by any way we could.
That sounds impossibly hard.
We survived. It's why we had to. That was the hardest part.
Oh?
When I was a child, Transia was very poor. Our parents could find no work. One day, my father stole bread to feed us. A mob chased him into our neighborhood. I was terrified for him. I told them to stop, and half of them turned to stone. I didn't mean to. I didn't understand my powers or how to use them, but I got scared, and people died. But the worst of it, Father pointed at me and cried out, "Witch." And then he was part of the mob, and they were after me. Pietro grabbed me and ran, faster than any person can run. We realized we could never go back. We were different, and had to look out for ourselves.
I am so sorry. That must have been terrifying.
I thought I was going to be hanged or burned alive for the longest time. And for a while, I thought I deserved it.
Oh, Wanda.
I felt like my life was cursed with misfortune, heartache, and pain ever since. It wasn't until recently that I began to feel that curse lift.
What changed?
You. I met you, and you saved me. So, thank you for being a friend. Didn't know how much I needed one like you.